Morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at your weekend forecast for this weekend, August 23rd through the 25th. Things look pretty nice for this weekend. Really nice, actually. After we've been kind of a cool stretch of weather here, we are going to improve temperatures-wise. A little warmer, not into anything uncomfortably warm. No humidity really this weekend, but nice, pleasant weather. You can see the front and the upper level low that has been kind of around affecting our weather for a long time has pushed well to our east. The upper level low is pulling out, which has left us with clouds and even a few sprinkles. Not so much yesterday, but especially on Wednesday. It's been slow to move out, but it's moving out. We do have a system to our north and west. This is going to provide a couple of clouds that approaches, but basically mostly still sunny. Mostly sunny, very sunny today, basically full sun today. Maybe a few clouds tomorrow, but mostly sunny still, no chance of rain. And then Sunday, same thing, a few more clouds on Sunday as we do start to get what is a system that's starting to develop here that will eventually make its way in our direction for Monday. Monday's the day where we have a chance of some rain, the next rain chance, really. But Sunday, a few more clouds on Sunday than we've had, although Sunday will also be the warmest of the weekend. So, yeah, basically pretty good weather across the Northeast and certainly across southern Vermont over the next few days. Let's take a quick look at radar. You can see nothing in our direction. All of the rain associated with the upper level low has moved well to our north and east. And even as we get some warming of the day and the rain with this upper level low increases, it will still be way to our north and east at this point, several hundred miles. So we are in good shape. Again, some of these showers, there's a few showers right now associated with these clouds. This is a dying system. So as this comes through in a weak form, it will really kind of just be in its dying phase and have a few clouds left over, but not really. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry about that. It will not have any. It will not have any rain associated with it as it comes through in our direction. Just a couple of clouds on Saturday and Sunday. So let's take a quick look at temperatures, which are starting to rebound. You can see we're still cool across a lot of the Northeast, and it really as cool as it's been here in Vermont. And we have been pretty cool. You know, I was 48 at my house this morning, so below 50 this time of year is pretty unusual. It's really actually to our south where it's been crazy how cool it's been in the 50s. I mean, in Kentucky, Tennessee, they've been a lot of 50s down there. Not so this morning, a little bit of a rebound, but a lot of some of these cooler valley locations it been in the 50s all the way down into the south. And this time of year, I mean, you can sometimes be October into November before you start to see any of those temperatures. It just doesn't cool down this time of year across the south. What a reprieve they're getting, even all the way down into some of the Carolinas and Georgia to an extent have seen a little bit cooler weather and certainly not as humid as it often is this time of year. Pretty unusual how far south that has pushed this week. I'm sure they're not complaining. Getting a chance to get outside without just being oppressed this time of year is always an advantage over the southeast. You can see though, Texas, it's starting to bubble back up, the real heat. And you can see that we do have a bit of a ridge, kind of heat starting to build. Not so much heat, but at least warmer temperatures starting to build to our west. And that's kind of pushing in our direction. So these cooler mornings, we will still be cooler than average the next couple of mornings with temperatures probably tomorrow morning in the low 50s, then mid 50s, then closer to 60, which is about probably average. Upper 50s to around 60 is probably average for this time of year. And daytime temperatures will do the same, right? Whereas today we're still low to mid 70s. Tomorrow, mid upper 70s. Upper 70s to near 80 on Sunday, basically, is the trend there. Let's take a quick look. Before we get the forecast, one of the things that's been interesting is the lack of tropical activity currently. You know, if you followed me or any other weather closely this year, the predictions were and still really are for a very active tropical season. And in some ways, we've had an active tropical season. We've already had several storms and some early storms that were pretty impressive. But currently, you would expect things to really be getting ramped up now when there's basically no chance for tropical activity over the next week and a half. And that's because we have this huge area of high pressure. Not unusual to have a big high, often kind of centered more in the western Atlantic, kind of a Bermuda high. And this one is more expansive, and it also is pushed further south. And that has pushed the kind of the area of thunderstorm activity way far south. And when this gets so far south, because of the curvature of the Earth and because it's close to the equator, it inhibits spin in the atmosphere. So you still get the thunderstorms, but it doesn't tend to create rotation, and the rotation is what leads to like enhanced spin. And anyways, that's basically how storms form. And so anytime this line of convection gets pushed further than about 10 degrees 10 degrees south, which is that's about right there right now. It starts to kind of inhibit tropical development, and then these really strong easterly winds here, almost too strong. You often have easterlies, but these are almost too strong, kind of inhibiting tropical development currently. This will not last for the rest of tropical season, unfortunately. If it did, that would kind of inhibit for the rest of the year. My guess is that eventually the pattern will break down over the Atlantic, and we'll have to see what happens next. All the other indications are in place for renewed. So we could easily see when this pattern breaks down a little bit, if conditions, if the area of convergence comes a little bit further north, and if the easterlies to the north there start to weaken a little bit, which is likely. The ocean temperature waters are still very warm, above average across most of the Atlantic basin, and so that will allow for the tropical season to get cranked back up again. So because it wouldn't be surprising at all to all of a sudden have 3 or 4 systems out there. This is the time of year when that can happen. So anyways, right now, quiet, enjoy that period. Hopefully that continues to be the case. The longer we push it off, the better. Obviously, the peak of hurricane season is coming in the next month. Basically, September is the worst month for it. So we'll see what happens. But hopefully this pattern kind of persists and kind of holds off and blunts some of the worst of it, because it was definitely looking pretty ugly just from the early things. So our forecast, though, what really matters for our weather here. Upper mid 70s today, basically fully sunny. Couple of fair weather clouds around. Clear tonight. We fall back down to the low 50s. Tomorrow we're mid to upper 70s, almost pushing 80 in some of the valley locations. A few more clouds tomorrow than there are today, but still basically a mostly sunny day. We cool back to the upper 50s to around 60 Saturday night. Sunday a little bit warmer again, a couple degrees warmer, close to 80 for on average, low 80s in a few spots in valleys. If you're higher up in elevation, you might be in the upper 70s. Again, few clouds, maybe a few more clouds even on Sunday than Saturday. Still not, I would still say more than 50% sun on Sunday. So still a really nice day. Clouds do start to kind of move in, especially as you get later in the day, will be more cloudy on Sunday. And then clouds do persist overnight before we get into some kind of wetter weather on Monday, it looks like. Not a washout on Monday, but definitely some chance of some showers. So weekend highlights, very nice late summer weekend. The only hiccup would be a few more clouds on Sunday afternoon, but again, it's just a few more clouds. Temperatures will warm after the cooler weather this week. Humidity levels remain low, so it continues to be comfortable out there. Unsettled weather returns for next Monday, and it may persist to an extent next week. Doesn't look like a washout or anything like that, or any heavy rain, but definitely looks like we could be a little unsettled through part of the week next week. Okay, that is your forecast for this weekend. I will be back on Monday. We're going to get those Monday morning forecasts going again. So I'll be back on Monday with a look at your weekend or your work week forecast. And I do want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. They help support what I do here at the West River Weather Guy. If you're interested in becoming a patron, there is a link in the description below. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel before, I would encourage you to do so. Helps make sure you don't miss any of my videos. And I'll be back on Monday with a look at your work week forecast.